Hello and welcome to Card Whisperer, a tarot journey with your host, Shelley Speaks. Happy New Year to everyone. I know I haven't been here for a couple weeks. I have been inundated with 2025 forecasts. I start advertising for these like in May, and I still get last minute requests. I really like to be complete with those around Christmas time, but it wasn't that way this year, and that's okay. So, Happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to 2025, and this is my first podcast for the year, and I just wanted to talk a little teeny tiny bit about 2025. I do have a class coming up on January 22nd. It is called Creating Your 2025. And in that class, you're going to get all the details about the energetics of 2025. And, here we are, January 15th, and we can already see some of the energetics that are at play. As I went through these forecasts for each individual, there was a word that kept coming up. And I've mentioned this in some classes and some other places that I just haven't used before. And these are really long reports. They're about 20 pages long. And so there's a section that is about the collective energies, and then the rest of the report is about what's going on with you for the year. And the word that kept coming up was wildfire. And I wasn't using it in the context of an actual wildfire. I was using it in the context of the way the energies will move in 2025. So we are experiencing currently this crazy wildfire in California. Now, I'm not in California, I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada. However, I grew up in California, so I have like childhood homes that have burned down. I have lots of friends whose homes are not here anymore. I just know a lot of people affected. And so to put that all together, I wasn't predicting wildfires. I don't really do predictions. And the reason why I don't, it's not that I don't get them. I get a lot of predictions. However, I really have the point of view that you are in charge of the creation of your life and you are in charge of your future. And while I do want to guide you to a greater future, I don't want to lock you into a future that doesn't have to be, because everything can change. Everything's changing moment by moment through the choices that we make, individually, the choices that we make collectively as well. So, with that said, that's just a little preview of what the energy will be like this year. There's more to it than that. And if you'd like to know more, come join the class on January 22nd. I believe it's at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're unable to join live, you can still, register for the class and receive the recording. And I'll make sure there's a link to that in the show notes. If for some reason you can't find that, just contact me. You can email me, Shelley Speaks, SHELLISPEAKS @gmail.com. Find me on Facebook, find me on TikTok, find me on Instagram. You can find me if you really want to. So, what are you creating this year? That's another thing that we're going to talk about in the class. So today I wanted to, it's not so much a tarot tip, but I did want to talk about tarot for self-development. And there's been a book kind of in my mind for a very long time. And I am definitely creating more space in my life, so I may be able to do this, or it could be a class. But I just wanted to invite you. You don't have to have like natural gifts the way I was born with to read the tarot. That's not required. You can develop your knowing, your awareness, your perception, if you choose to do so. And one of the ways that I use tarot primarily is for my own self development. If you're willing to be honest with yourself and you're open to receive the messages, the tarot can guide you, or I don't want to say guide you. It can kind of let you know where you're sitting energetically. So maybe you're sitting too much in the mind. You're in your head, you're stuck in fear, worry, doubt. And you go to the tarot for guidance, you see that information, and then you can do something about it. Maybe you're stuck in your emotions. Maybe you're not taking enough action. Maybe it's time to rest and be still and do nothing. And there are people out in this world, this beautiful world, that just know that. And sometimes I just know that as well. And then there are times when I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I need to take a little peek at the energy. And then it helps me shift things or, sit down or whatever is required. So, you could get a deck of tarot cards. I always recommend that you get something that's really pretty and beautiful and speaks to you. There's lots of tarot books out there, but at the end of the day, it's going to be your communication with your soul and, your spiritual team. All right. So now let's move into the message for now. So take a deep breath. Just relax your body. So I just pulled some cards, and basically, what do we require to know right now? So right now, the energy is moving very, very fast. There's so much change happening. Change is always happening, and I always advise my clients, don't be afraid of change. Change is part of the creative cycle. It's part of what's required to create something new. Sometimes it shows up as chaos. We require chaos in the creative cycle. And everybody on some level is searching for something greater. Maybe that's buried really, really deep under a lot of unconsciousness or trauma, drama, PTSD, depression, whatever. It might be buried really deep. And then some people, they're just actively creating, creating, creating. They know that there's greater available and they're always moving toward that. And then everything in between. So we're all searching for something greater. It may be very dormant or it may be very active in your life. And when we just have that, it's like an energetic pulse or impulse for something greater. It kind of alerts the energies and things begin to change. When things begin to change, people kind of freak out and get upset. And they're like, no, 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 I don't want any change. I want everything to stay the same. And then they will do what I call a reformat back into their comfort zone. And then that pulse or that desire or that ask will come again. Things will start changing. They'll get upset, get scared, get uncomfortable, and reformat again. And many people just stay in that loop their entire lives. And what I teach, in the Billionaire Babe group coaching is how to not only recognize these different spaces of creation, but also how to move through them. So there's a lot of change happening right now. And it's important not to make it good, bad, right, or wrong. It just is. Okay. It's just a part of life, part of creation, part of what we do here on earth. And if you're in a state of fear or discomfort or anything like that, focus on what you'd like to be, do, and have. Put your energy there. Don't focus on, oh my God, everything's changing. Focus on, okay, you know what? Everything's changing because I'm creating this. And keep your attention on the creations. If you're actively creating your life, you're actively choosing what you'd like to be, do, and have, You've got to also get very organized. Now, people, especially spiritual people, do not like that order, organization, structure energy. They're like, no, I want to be free. I want to go with the flow. And this is where a lot of people aren't able to, I'll say, hold a creation all the way to its completion because they haven't structured the foundation to do so. And there are physical and energetic things that we can put in place so that our creations are supported until they manifest or actualize in the physical. So you've got to look at, what do I need to put in place? What do I need to implement in terms of order, structure, organization for my success, to reach my target, to have what I'm asking for? So let's, this is just popping right now. Let's use like losing weight or getting fit. That's not something you can just think about. I wish it was, because I would think myself super fit right now, but that's not the way it works. You have to order, structure, and organize what you eat, the movement or exercise that you choose. Many different things have to kind of come into play so that you can reach your target, whether it's a weight target or, maybe you're strengthening, whatever it is. So order, structure, and organize yourself for success. Put things on your calendar, add reminders, whatever your daily routine is. It doesn't mean you have to, like, if you kind of fall off the wagon, it's a bad thing. That's okay. You want some flexibility, but you still want kind of like a map or a guide or a structure to get you from point A to point B. And then the last thing is, be okay with being uncomfortable. Everything you're asking for is outside of your comfort zone. And your body will let you know there's a difference between being uncomfortable and being in danger. Your body knows the difference. So trust that, okay? And being uncomfortable is where the magic happens. It doesn't happen in your comfort zone. So I just added a new income stream probably about 10 days ago. And it's been uncomfortable since day one. And I'm not going to let that keep me from expanding the business, growing the business, generating money from the business. I'll just be uncomfortable until I'm comfortable. And a lot of people misidentify, misapply discomfort as something being bad or negative. What am I trying to say here? Teach yourself to know the difference. Like, am I just uncomfortable because this is new and this is outside of my comfort zone, or am I in danger? And 99% of the time, you're not in danger. You're just uncomfortable. And your body will let you know. Your body knows when it's time to run, and it knows when it's just kind of uncomfortable. All right. So that is the podcast for today. I didn't want to go another week without being here with you guys. I appreciate all the listeners. I look at the statistics and where everybody's listening from all around the world. It's pretty exciting. So thank you for listening. If you'd like to join the class on the 22nd, I again will put a link, or you can find me and let me know you want to jump in. Have a happy new year. Be present with yourself. Make sure you're creating a life and a living that works for you and your body phenomenally. Talk to you soon.